Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something absolutely huge. We're going to capture the absolute essentials of John Hargrave's incredible book, Blockchain for Everyone, in exactly 8 minutes or less. We're decoding blockchain tech and crypto investing, but here's the best part: no confusing tech jargon. You don't need a computer science degree for this, just a bit of curiosity. So, you ready to see what the future of money actually looks like? Let's get into it. Okay, so Hargrave kicks things off with this brilliant comparison. He says, the gold rush is incredibly similar to the blockchain boom. And honestly, it really is. Think back to 1848. This carpenter, James W. Marshall, spots some shiny flakes in a riverbed, right? Cut to 1849, and California is just completely insane. People are ditching their regular lives, cashing out their life savings, risking absolutely everything for gold fever. While today's explosive crypto landscape, it feels exactly like that. It's this chaotic, modern-day gold rush full of wild characters and just massive opportunity. But, the big question is, how do we actually navigate it? Now, we've actually seen this kind of wild explosion before. Remember the dot-com boom back in 1995? The early internet was super confusing for the average person. I mean, just installing a basic web browser felt like trying to genetically engineer a tomato. It was tough. But for the people who looked past all that initial friction, it created massive, historic wealth. That's where we got giants like Amazon and Google. Blockchain is essentially the direct, spectacular sequel to that internet revolution. We've literally seen this movie before, so we kind of know exactly how the ending plays out. Section 1. The Great Checkbook. Demystifying the tech.
All right, to actually profit from all this, we got to cut through the hype and understand the open source tech making it all happen. You can completely forget the crazy math and cryptography for a minute. Just focus on the 3 Ds. It's decentralized, distributed, and democratic. That is the actual DNA of blockchain. See, unlike a centralized corporation, like a massive traditional bank or some tech giant, a blockchain isn't owned by anyone. There's literally no CEO of Bitcoin, there's no fancy headquarters you can just unplug. It's a technology totally powered by the people, for the people.
So picture a distributed ledger. Hargrave calls it this shared great checkbook in the sky. Instead of one giant paper ledger locked away on a single banker's mahogany desk, imagine a massive spreadsheet that is just open to the entire world. It's copied across millions of computers globally. Millions of users are balancing it together in real time, constantly verifying that every single transaction is accurate. But you're probably wondering, what happens if someone tries to cheat the system? Well, that's where consensus comes in. Consensus is just the system where the majority rules to agree on exactly what gets stored in that great checkbook. It guarantees total accuracy across all those millions of computers. And it does it without ever needing a middleman. No bankers, no centralized boss pulling the strings. It's safe, it's honest, and it is mathematically spotless. And here's where it gets really crazy, because this tech goes way beyond just zipping digital money back and forth. Enter the smart contract. These are digital contracts, literally programs to force both parties to fulfill their end of the bargain. They allow total strangers to trust each other safely and totally automatically. No more expensive lawyers or sketchy escrow agents required. To really visualize how this works, let's use a fun real-world analogy from the book The Balloon Animal Artist. Say you hire an incredibly in-demand balloon artist for a kid's party. Like, this guy is Bruno Mars's personal balloon guy. He does life-size werewolves. He's super expensive. So step 1, you hire him. Step 2, you send your Bitcoin straight to a smart contract. Step 3, that digital contract holds your funds totally securely. And step 4, the funds release automatically but only upon performance, meaning he only gets paid when he actually shows up and twists the balloons. Boom. A perfectly executed, trustless transaction.
Section 2. The Rocket Rule. Visualizing value.
Okay, so now that we've got a handle on the what, let's talk about the why. To understand what actually gives all this invisible, decentralized data its real financial value, we have to realize one core truth. The blockchain is all about people. Tokens, cryptocurrencies, digital assets, they're completely worthless if they're just sitting inertly on a hard drive somewhere. A token only gets value when people are actively using it to interact, to trade, and to solve actual real-world problems. The value comes 100% from the human network using it. And speaking of real-world problems, consider this massive number: 2 billion. That is the number of unbanked people in the world right now. 2 billion people who can't easily send money home to their families without getting crushed by massive fees, terrible delays, and just endless friction. It demonstrates a hugely broken global financial system.
But blockchain, it is perfectly positioned to fix this by making money flow freely, almost like water.
Which brings us to Metcalfe's law, or as the author brilliantly rebrands it, the rocket rule. The rule states that the value of a network grows proportionally to the square of its users. Basically, if you add users linearly, just one by one, the value of the entire blockchain ecosystem grows quadratically. It goes exponential. And that strict mathematical reality, that is exactly what causes that explosive rocket ship value growth that's been minting blockchain billionaires.
Section 3. The picks and shovels. Practical ecosystem investing.
So how do you, the everyday investor, actually get a piece of that action without totally losing your shirt? Well, think back to that 1849 gold rush. The real safe money wasn't made by the guys digging in the dirt. It was made by the folks running the general stores, selling the picks and shovels to the miners at a huge premium. And we can do the exact same thing today right in the stock market. You can invest in mining hardware through established tech stocks like Nvidia or AMD. You can invest in infrastructure through IBM or consulting through Accenture. You can even buy into companies securing blockchain patents like Bank of America or financial services like Square. These are traditional, publicly traded companies actively building out the ecosystem. It's a much, much safer picks and shovels way to invest without buying the actual volatile roller coaster coins.
Section 4. How to invest safely. The rules of the game.
Now, if you do want to navigate the chaotic blockchain bazaar and invest directly in digital assets, you absolutely need a disciplined system. Use this simplified blockchain investor scorecard. Before you even think about buying a token, you've got to grade it objectively. First, look at market size. Is this solving a $100 million problem, or is it just some tiny niche? Second, competitive advantage. Does it offer actual differentiated value, or is it literally just a copycat token riding the hype train? And third, user adoption. Is there high social buzz, or is it just crickets? Using a scorecard like this is such a practical takeaway because it protects you from your own emotions and cognitive biases. Finally, let's look at some golden rules of value investing applied directly to blockchain. This is what keeps us grounded in sensible, long-term financial habits. First up, adopt steady drip investing. Set up auto withdrawals so you don't even have to think about trying to time the market. Second, only allocate a small slice of your portfolio to crypto. We're talking maybe 2% to 10% max. Third, keep the vast majority of your wealth securely in traditional stocks and bonds. And the absolute ultimate rule, never, ever invest more than you can afford to lose. Seriously.
So we've covered the underlying tech, the mechanics of how it builds value, and some really practical strategies for investing safely. So the big question is, are you ready to build wealth in this new internet of value? You literally have a historic opportunity right now to participate in a financial system that doesn't just empower you as an individual investor, but actually has the radical potential to empower those 2 billion unbanked people around the globe. It's a full-on revolution, and you've got a front row seat. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to In 8 Minutes and never miss what matters.